Welcome. Welcome everyone to today's webinar. We're glad that you are joining us. Welcome as you are joining. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is good to have you joining us for our webinar. Again, welcome to today's webinar, Partnering with Parents, Fostering Healthy Relationships at Home. I am Toya Hancock, Regional Engagement Specialist for Harmony Academy. Again, it is good to have you with us. We host these webinars to bring together thought leaders and educators to share best teaching practices and tools to support social, personal, and academic learning. These presentations are the opinions and content of our guest speakers and may not necessarily be a direct representation of Harmony. You and all the registrants will receive a copy of the recording to watch and share with your colleagues, so be on the lookout for that in your email. So our objectives today, our audience will understand the role of family engagement. You will recognize the skills to build upon the foundational components of healthy relationships in the home environment. And you'll discover practical approaches with the new Harmony at Home app for supporting parents' role. We are thrilled and excited to have our presenter and panelists today. We have Jennifer Miller. She is the founder and author of Confident Parents, Confident Kids. For over 30 years, Jennifer has worked with educators and families to help them become more effective with children and teens by understanding and supporting their learning and development. She authored and illustrated the book, Confident Parents, Confident Kids, Raising Emotional Intelligence in Ourselves and Our Kids, from toddlers to teenagers. She has worked with Harmony Academy over the past year to build our brand new Harmony at Home, a parent-child application for home-based skill building. She has served as a regular expert contributor to NBC's Today Parenting and PBS WNET and Parent Magazine. We're thrilled to have Jennifer. And joining Jennifer as the Family Engagement Development Coordinator in Clark County School District in Las Vegas, Nevada, Karen Lou Allen works collaboratively with district personnel to design and implement initiatives that provide families with access to high-quality resources and learning opportunities. Ana Navarro has served as a bilingual student support specialist at a virtual school in Los Angeles for nearly 5 years. Her passion for teaching comes from providing every child with the tools to reach their full potential. She is also a proud member of the Harmony Educator Advisor Group. We are so happy that you all are here. Again, we welcome our presenter and panelist. So we're going to go ahead and start off the Harmony way with one of our components of our everyday practices, our quick connection card, where we'll build community and healthy relationships. So we're going to ask our presenter and panelists. The question is, what is one activity you love to do with your family? So if you'll share with us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Toya, for that beautiful introduction. I'm Jennifer Miller. My response to this quick connection question is our nightly family dinners. My family teases me because I get so excited for our nightly family dinners, not because I cook anything all that exciting, but because it is our chance to hear about our son's day and really connect as a family. So that's every day I'm looking forward to dinner.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Karen?
Yes, honestly, family dinners are awesome. I also really love the fact that we used to always have our game nights, and we would play our board games, bring out the old-fashioned ones, including some of the new ones. It would always lead to lots of discussion and competition, which is always fun in the family. But it just really brought us together during that time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Anna?
Thank you so much, Tanya. We love to do many activities together with my adult kids and my husband. We love to go and just take coffee in Panera and enjoy the afternoon or going to the movies together. We also do a lot of karaoke at home and we
Oh, I
like
love
to
it.
cook our own
Karaoke.
food.
Yes, what
We like to
fun.
try new food and things like that. But we do almost everything together, so it's awesome to share that connection with them and have a lot of conversations about our daily lives.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so now we're going to hear from the audience. It is our poll time before we dive into our topic and hear some more from them. We'd love to learn a little bit about your family engagement as the audience. So, Amanda, can you please launch that poll for us? Okay, so our question is, how would you describe your experience with family engagement? So you're going to take this poll for us. Maybe you're new to family engagement work, somewhat familiar, worked with families, yes. So the poll is going, it's telling our responses for us, and it's going. Okay, so let's see. All right. So I have worked with families as our partners in school settings. Okay, so and then right behind worked in nonprofit settings. So wonderful that gives us an idea of who's joining and your background with family engagement. So thank you so much for that poll. And again, for joining with us. So we're going to transition and get ready for our main speaker, our presenter, and that is Jennifer. So thank you so much, Jennifer.
All right, Toya, thank you. We're talking about why family engagement is critical, and I see from the poll that this is an audience that you are professionals who have worked with families on family engagement. So this is a very savvy, experienced audience. We have a good 40 years of research that tells us that family engagement impacts academic achievement. Here, I want to focus on specifically belonging, because belonging is really at issue right now for our students and our families. Our students need to feel a sense of belonging, and their families need to feel a sense of belonging in our school communities in order to promote academic achievement. We see that it impacts mental health and well-being. There's a reduction in bullying and violence, self-harm. It even impacts chronic absenteeism. No surprise, right? When we focus on student and family belonging. So I want to talk a bit about an experiment that I conducted to see how I could move the needle in a very small, simple way. And hopefully this will produce some ideas for you today on how to move the needle again on family engagement and help families feel that sense of belonging. I conducted a small experiment in a local high school. First of all, I went in and interviewed students, parents, and teachers to ask very generally, what are your hopes and dreams? And also, what are your biggest challenges and concerns? And belonging, connection came up time and again, and I have many quotes from those three groups saying we're really feeling a sense of loneliness or lack of safety or isolation or division. And certainly our bigger national scene and world scene makes us skeptical and creates those chances for families to come into a larger community and say, am I going to be accepted? Actually, Toya, could we go back one more, just go back to the one we were in? Thank you. I appreciate that. So after doing some empathy interviews, we set up an occasion for a small group of parents, students, and educators to listen to one another. And we asked similar questions. What are your hopes and dreams? What are your pain points? What are your challenges? And we had real strict structure around the listening. So we timed the listening. There was silent listening. In other words, the speaker would speak, the listeners would only listen, and they were to listen for both thoughts and feelings. So not only what are they saying, but what are the implied feelings behind what they're saying? And then they reflected back to them, well, I hear that your pain points are really this and that and the other thing. And there was no fixing. There was no problem solving. There was no sharing your own stories to connect. There was literally only this empathetic reflecting back. So after we did this, now you can change the slide. Here are the results, some of the things that they said after this one simple session of listening to one another. In a world where there are so many factions, polar opinions, and strong judgment, it was uplifting to be in a space where vulnerability, connection, and encouragement are fostered. This was the most elevating experience I had this year. That's from a parent. This taught me the importance of listening and hearing the speaker's side of the story before you're giving your own input. That was from a teacher. A student said, my highest hope is that everyone can feel how I felt, just pure amazement and joy. Like I just felt like a mind-numbing experience that I wish people can feel and apply to their lives and impact the next generation. I just want people to feel that general sense of peace and happiness I felt. Wow! This was from empathetic listening. That's it. So simple, but in our busy, busy lives, how often do we listen in a downloading kind of way, in a seeking facts kind of way, in a logistical manner, but not in an empathetic manner, and see what a difference this made in one school. So, Toya, you can forward the slide. Thank you for that. This is a framework for parenting resilience. And why am I bringing this up? This parenting resilience is basically how families bounce back from adversity. And this needs to be a part of the conversation because students are facing a lot of adversity. They're facing a lot of challenge, and how their families face adversity in their parenting impacts how students face adversity at school. So there's some interesting clues here to how we can support families. Being part of a supportive social network is key. Belonging, right? Asking for help when it's needed, and that's part of belonging, that we feel safe enough that we know somebody we can go to when we don't know what the math homework is, when we're confused about parent-teacher conferences and what that entails, when we don't know what the parent assembly coming up is going to be about. So we need people to be able to ask for help. So those top two are really about belonging. The bottom two, learning about your child's development so that you can support it, so you can feel like a competent parent. That is skill building, promoting competence, and then building your own and your child's essential skills. Again, promoting competence. And those are the things that we're going to get into next. So, Toya, if you could flip the slide, great. So, wherever I go, I do a lot of talks with families. And whenever I talk to parents, I ask the question, what are your hopes and dreams for your children? And what are your hopes for your and dreams for yourself as a parent? And I took 100 of those responses, and they were things that would not surprise you. They said things like, I want my child to be happy. I want them to be confident. I want them to be responsible. And then their hopes for their own parenting were similar. I want to be happy. I want to be patient. I want to be loving and kind and have high expectations. We took these hopes and dreams and we took a look at student success skills and how they might map on with student success skills that teachers work on in classrooms, that schools and districts talk about at building and district levels. And there was a direct alignment. We figured there'd be some outliers. There weren't. There was a direct connection between these hopes and dreams and skills. And so the great news for parents is that we can work toward our hopes and dreams every day by investing in small ways to build skills like self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills like communication and listening, conflict management, and responsible decision making. Those are things that come into play in our family dinners, in our family game nights, right? In our karaoke evenings. There are opportunities constantly in family life to practice those skills. So the point I want to make here is that often as educators, we speak a different language. But if we are deeply listening to parents' hopes and dreams and how they speak about their aspirations for their students, we can use that language to really connect with them and then provide them resources and support so that they feel like they can be working toward their hopes and dreams in partnership with educators. So Toya, go ahead and flip the slide. Thank you. So I think it's really important when we're talking with families about these skills that there are different ways that we might teach these skills in family life than say in the classroom. Actually, we could potentially use all of these in the classroom, but these are the ways in the raw messiness of family life that we can think about parents promoting these student success skills. So our modeling matters. How we use our own self-control in family life, our own awareness of our feelings matters, right? Our coaching, and not necessarily sports coaching, but life coaching, how we ask good open-ended questions and prompt thinking from our children, creating practice opportunities. And the app that we're going to talk about today has a million of them. So we'll get to that. Lots of practice opportunities. When our children make mistakes, when they cause harm, which they will, because they're children and they're learning, we have to help guide them to repair harm. That is part of taking responsibility for their lives and their actions. So repairing is a really important part of this teaching skills. And then finally recognizing we have to notice when they're using those skills or working on those skills that we're trying to promote. If they're able to talk about uncomfortable emotions, we need to say, I noticed you were talking about how you were frustrated. That helps me understand where you are, and I really appreciate that. So we have to recognize those moments when they're really working on those student success skills. Okay, Toy, you can go forward. Okay, so here's the Harmony at Home app. I couldn't be more joyous about this app. It's really an incredible resource. I love that Harmony is using technology in a way to help parents promote student success skills in family life in such a fun, joyful way. I worked on this for a year with the Harmony team, and the conversation was always, how can we set parents up for success so they have an activity they can do with their child and they can put their phone down? They can read it and say, okay, here's what we're going to do together. They can put their phone down, look at their child face to face, and have fun trying out these activities together. So it is not phone reliant, which is so wonderful. But there also are animated storybooks and ways that you can dig in to the app, and it prompts, how are you feeling today, and gives you emotional opportunities to build feelings vocabulary. So there's so much to explore here. I talked about the activities that parents and children can do together. Every single one promotes a student success skill, but is also designed for enjoyment. So the do-togethers are wonderful. There are daily practices to build healthy routines. Um, there are animated storybooks that are such a delight, and each one teaches a valuable lesson, and they can be paused so that parents and children can reflect on the lessons that are present. There are conversation starters like the quick connection cards. So you can read off a question and say, we're going to do this at dinner time. Put your phone away and start a rich conversation with your family at dinner. There's family goal setting to promote really setting goals with your family around building collaboration, around teamwork, those kinds of wonderful things. There's in-app journals and daily notes. There's drawing space. So there's lots of interactive functions that are fun for everybody in the family.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You've helped me. I'm taking notes. I was taking notes as you were sharing, and just so many wonderful tips that we can apply right away. So we're going to have a discussion. And get to know and dive into and ask you and our panelists some questions. So let's go and let's ask either Anna and Karen. Can you share how, in your role, you have seen parent involvement evolve as you have worked with your communities on building strong communication and connection with the school?
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and start. So,
Yeah.
over the last 10 years that I've been able to be fortunate enough to be in the family engagement department, I've really seen that families are becoming more confident in engaging with the schools because the schools have been able to really establish that two-way communication instead of just sending out information that we're just supposed to receive and really not doing anything with it after that point. Now they're really asking for our input and really asking families to collaborate and become part of that decision-making body of the school and of the community. And so through that, I'm seeing that families are not showing up to a school to be a visitor anymore. They're showing up to really be a partner, and that there is a much stronger feeling of trust and just a sense of belonging to that whole entire school community through the families.
I love that, the partnership and the collaboration. Anna.
Yes. I would like to share that I can see the evolution from my point of view as parent, as an educator as well, because as a parent I was very engaged in my kids' education, but I felt that I didn't have like the tools to go beyond the academics. So I had to go outside what the school was providing to me to reach out those little points for connection, for belonging, for many other skills that Jennifer was speaking about.
Mhm.
So, but now that now I have seen the evolution that the actions that schools are taking toward that engagement, parent engagement, um, and it has been fantastic. I have seen parents being more confident, reaching out to the school, reaching out for help, modeling that for their kids, and I have seen the results in their kids as well. I also seen that they are very engaged in their kids' future in terms of building strong relationships with them, lasting relationships for the rest of their lives. And they are seeing education in a different way as well, because they are looking it's not just academic, it's the whole child. So they are taking action, intentional actions every day to participate with their kids, to be more involved with them and more involved with the schools, which is fantastic.
Thank you. That's perfect. And it's a great segue into our next question. What impact, and it's for Karen. So, what impact have you seen as a result of your work with parents? And specifically, how have you seen communication skills improve as a result of a focused effort on this skill?
Absolutely. So I've seen a lot that when we are talking to our families about the importance of making sure that we have clear communication and respectful communication, and that in order to have that true two-way, we have to really model that for our kiddos. Just like Jennifer was saying, making sure that we show them this is what I expect during this conversation. This is how I will be when I'm the speaker. This is how I will be when I'm the listener, and really valuing what they're listening, what they're saying by responding back to what they are talking about. And that's really helping them to be able to be more collaborative with the teachers and more effective when they do need to go to a teacher about an issue that their child might be having in the school. And we're just really seeing that it's happening in both the schools and in the home, that we're seeing more active listening, more patience on both the family and the child's part, and really becoming a problem solving group and being able to get through situations together. It's just been like a ripple effect that's gone through the families and the schools.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. So Jennifer, so it can seem daunting, but how can practitioners promote skills that transfer to strengthen healthy, thriving relationships with parents and their children?
Yeah, that's a big question, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that it begins with listening, and I'm so buoyed by both how Karen responded, and Anna, that you're seeing that families are being really intentional about being focused with their attention with their student, and promoting all their whole life, and not just grades or one focus. And Karen is seeing a lot of active listening. I really think that listening is a starting point, so that if we consistently open our minds and hearts when we have those small touch points with parents, whether it's, I'm going to catch them at drop off, I'm going to catch them at pickup. But when we have those, or parent teacher conferences, when we have those touch points, that we begin with listening and we really understand what's top of mind and top of concern for them, and we respond accordingly, so that we're responsive and say, I hear you are feeling really concerned, genuinely concerned about math anxiety, and how that plays out at homework time when you're watching your child just shut down when they're trying to study for a math quiz. Um, that opens a door all of a sudden for quick partnership, because a teacher is empathizing And with the parent feels seen, heard, understood. Sometimes that's enough. If you have,
Mhm.
1 minute of passing conversation, that is enough, as you saw in my responses, to take away, okay, they care. They really care about me and my child. But you can also take it to the next step if you have more time and say, how can we partner on that? How can I support you? And again, that opens the door. So I really think empathetic listening
Yes.
creates that safe space where parents feel a sense of belonging, that they can share their concerns and partnership can happen.
Thank you so much. I wrote that down, that empathetic listening, intentionality. So thank you so much. And so, Anna, how do you bring parents along who may be reluctant to participate, perhaps because they may be afraid to not live up to the school expectations?
Well, it's through conversations, communication. And something very important is that I like to share with them two things. The first one is to look to the future with their kids and how they are gonna be benefit for that, for trying to try those steps. And the second one is that I like to share with them that they don't need to know everything in the terms that educators know. For example, difficult difficult names, difficult concepts. That is not necessary for them to learn, but they can apply a lot of intentionality in their actions, and they can include that intentionality in their daily activities. And that is something that I work with them. For example, while they are sitting in the dining table and they are sharing stories, just to focus a little bit what their objective is through that conversation. Just give that intention to any activity that they do daily. And the objective with that is for them to notice that everything that they do during the day has an effect in their kids and in their relationships. So um, it's better to be prepared because whether or not they are modeling for their kids all the time. And that is something that I share with them as well. So uh, try to focus on what you want to achieve with your kids and try to guide the daily activities to that. For example, the chores that you share with your kids, how you're going to guide them through that chores, how you're going to guide them to do it in a nicely way, how you're going to share your values with your kids in a way that it's going to lead them in the direction that you want to have throughout their lives. So that, like, I have felt that takes out that barrier because they feel that they can be in charge of that and that they really are doing something and they can do so much more just within the same things that they have been doing already.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. And Jennifer, so how do you bring this discussion up with parents so that they are part of of the conversation?
Well, I think it's easy. So I shouldn't say that because it's never easy, but
Mhm.
but truly, I think we can make it simple. Meaning when we have meetings with parents, uh, I don't know if it's true for every parent, but a lot of parents get nervous when they meet with teachers. Teachers are extremely busy. They're experts in subjects. Um, they can be an intimidating crew. We as educators can be intimidating because of our expertise and because of how we have to judge children. And so parents can be really nervous when they meet with educators. So being cognizant of that, being aware of that, and being more vulnerable, lowering that stress barrier by showing that you see and value their child. Often I think that beginning a conversation after asking their hopes and dreams and their challenges, beginning a conversation about a student with the gifts that you see are a part of that particular student, all of a sudden the parent is lighting up because you really see their child. You recognize that they're perceptive. You recognize that they're kind, that you recognize that they have a special aptitude in music, whatever it is, but that you begin with those strengths, showing that you really see their child and therefore really see them. Uh, that opens the door to so many conversations.
Great. Thank you so much. We just got a few questions, and I do want to just ask about the app. So we're excited about that. It's been released. And so I want to, if you all, Karen and Anna, if you could share the feedback, what you've heard about our Harmony at Home app.
Mostly the feedback that I've been getting from parents has been overwhelmingly positive. They absolutely love the fact that it's accessible, it's in their hand wherever they are, so that if an opportunity arises where they could have that quick conversation, that they have that tool in their hand that they can use to start those conversations instead of making it kind of a cold start, but really having something to guide them through that. And it's giving them another way of really providing those simple ways to lead into the conversations, and that they have really enjoyed the guidance that it's been providing, and they just feel very supported through this app and through using the program.
Wonderful. We're happy to learn that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that feedback. Anna.
I have heard that families have been very engaged with the app because from the start, when they create their groups in their group in the app, and they name everyone in the team, and they can choose the activities that they want to set, they can choose their goals, and all the family are working together toward that goal. And other thing is that each one can choose an activity, for example, and they can practice. They like that a lot. Another thing is that there is not a set time to do that. They can practice at any time of the day, any day of the week. And it doesn't matter if the child is too young, they can adapt the activities. Kids love the storybooks activities and the conversations that they have there. It's amazing. Parents have been able to go through all the app because it's huge, but it's super enriching. And parents told me that they were very excited about the information that is shared for the parents at the beginning of the activities and at the beginning of everything, because it gives them like the direction that they can follow. It gives them in a very easy and understandable way a lot of skills, a lot of information that they want to practice with their kids. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
yes.
Jennifer. I see you taking notes. I know this is music to your ears. Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much for the feedback. So we will go ahead, and we're going to finish up as we talk about the app just a little bit more, and provide some additional information. And as Jennifer shared, and you've heard, that we have this brand new app launched, and it is built for busy parents. Harmony at Home is a family-centered mobile app designed to strengthen relationship skills for both adults and children. It's carefully curated, research-backed resources paired with real-world activities that families can enjoy together, as we've heard, because true connection, and I love this, true connection, I think you said this, Jennifer, is facilitated by the screen, not created by it. Okay, that's important. So it is now available on iOS and Android, and you can use the QR code for more information. So we're going to just gather. We just got a few minutes left. We want to gather some final thoughts, just one quick final thought to what we want as our takeaway, something that is important for us to keep in mind in building healthy relationships with partnerships with parents. Just quickly share those those final thoughts for our takeaway.
I have a final thought. I think as I wear a parent hat and an educator hat, and when I'm wearing my educator hat and I'm talking with parents, I always approach the conversation with what can I learn? I actually ask that inside of myself before I approach a parent or a group of parents. What can I learn? And that curiosity and that eagerness to learn from parents, I think will set us all in the direction of empathetic listening.
Love it. What can we learn? Wonderful. Thank you.
I love that. And I'm going to totally piggyback off of Jennifer because I totally agree that we have to understand that we're not just the teachers, we're also the learners, and that we are really going to need to build that relationships with families. And it only can start by making sure we are really listening and make sure that we are being reactive in that listening. And just from there, we can grow together so that we are creating that true partnership.
Anna.
Yes, I would like to share that the work that schools are doing, are making to improve communication with families is amazing. We still have a lot of work to do, but I think that we're in a very good path. But it starts with the communication within the school. That that is going to be fundamental to transmit that to parents and value listening to parents, as Jennifer and Karen says, getting to know them, getting to know their students, and really see each person as a human being that can provide something wonderful to the world. Remember, all of us are like a little pieces of a puzzle. Maybe a piece is missing, but it's still a puzzle, and a little piece makes a difference. Each one of us can make it. And thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. So before we close, this has been wonderful. Before we close, we do want to let you know about an exciting virtual series coming up in November. So what if the solution to some of our most pressing issues, chronic absenteeism, academic acceleration, student motivation, and well-being, wasn't just something that's an extra cost or more programming, but it is in a stronger sense of belonging. So Harmony Academy is hosting a complimentary series that brings together leaders, practitioners, and national experts to discuss strategies to align belonging to address district priorities. So you can use the QR code, and we want you to go ahead and register now. That will be amazing, our belonging series. So thank you so much. Thank you, Jennifer and Karen and Anna. This has been amazing, and we appreciate your time and your wisdom and just sharing with us this afternoon. And we want to say a big thank you to all of our attendees today. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.